MTN Group CEO Ralph Mupita has shut down speculation that the mobile provider is in talks to acquire smaller rival Telkom. Last week, Bloomberg reported that the firm was trying to revive takeover talks after failing to make such a deal happen in 2022. But during a media event, Mupita rejected the claim, saying no such talks were taking place. He did, however, leave the door open, saying that the possibility of another approach further down the line could not be ruled out. AVI has raised its dividend after reporting stronger earnings for the year to end June. That's even as revenue growth remained muted. The food and fashion group has declared a final payout to shareholders of just over R4. That takes the total for the year to R6.26, which reflects a rise of 6%. The firm's headline earnings per share ticked up by a similar margin, while revenue inched higher by just 1%. But tighter cost control and improved margins helped lift operating profit by close to 8%. Solid, that's how Sun International has described its half-year performance. The group has posted a 60.5% jump in headline earnings per share. That's as its digital gaming business Sunbet delivered strong growth and careful cost management across the group yielded results. An interim dividend of R1.72 has been declared. That's an increase of close to 7% on the previous period's payout. Metrofile has had a difficult year. The document specialist group has posted a 12% decline in annual operating profit and a 4% dip in earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. That's largely due to a drop in content services by Metrofile Vision and continued margin pressure in Kenya and the Middle East. Looking ahead, Metrofile has noted that the operating environment is likely to remain challenging, and as a result, management will be focused on geographic and operational optimization to enhance profitability. Pan-African Resources has applied to move its AIM listing in London to the bourse's main market. CEO Kobus Lutz says the move will allow the firm to access a deeper pool of capital, and it will also enhance liquidity for the group as it pushes ahead with its growth strategy. Altvest says it's formally adopted its Bitcoin treasury strategy and will embark on various capital raising initiatives over the coming months to gather funds to acquire the digital currency. The company has also proposed a name change. It would like to be known as the Africa Bitcoin Corporation. The firm believes this reflects its strategic repositioning and broader operational focus. ASP Isotopes has added a seasoned nuclear power executive to its leadership team. The company has appointed Rolf Hunter to its board of directors and to the board of managers of its subsidiary Quantum Leap Energy. Hunter brings more than 3 decades of global nuclear industry experience. He also chaired the U.S. Civil Nuclear Trade Advisory Committee and previously served on the board of Rolls-Royce's small modular reactor unit. ASP says Hunter's expertise will help advance its technologies in the U.S. and globally. In international news, Tesla's U.S. market share hit a nearly 8-year low in August, plummeting to 38% of total electric vehicle sales as consumers increasingly opted for rival electric vehicles. This significant drop highlights the growing competition in the EV market. Here's more detail in this report.
Tesla's US market share dropped to a near 8-year low in August. That's according to data from research firm Cox Automotive, shared exclusively with Reuters. It shows buyers chose electric vehicles from a growing number of rivals over Tesla's aging lineup. The decline highlights the threat from automakers ramping up EV incentives at a challenging time for the industry. Analysts expect an EV sales bump to continue through September in the US, but they see a drop coming when federal tax credits expire at the end of the month. That could raise financial pressure on Tesla and other automakers. Tesla once held more than 80% of the US EV market, but data showed it made up for 38% of the total EV sales in the US in August. That's the first time it's fallen below the 40% mark since October 2017. Tesla has turned its focus to building robo-taxis and humanoid robots, while other automakers are rolling out new EVs. Much of Tesla's trillion-dollar valuation hangs on that bet, although the core auto business is still its moneymaker for now. Cox has more complete data for July, when Tesla's market share fell to 42% from just under 49% in June. The drop was the sharpest since March 4 years ago. Some analysts argue Musk's right-wing political work and association with President Donald Trump has hurt the brand.
And Volkswagen is engaged in constructive talks with the US government about potential massive investments in the country, aiming to reduce the impact of tariffs that have already cost the company billions of euros this year. Let's take a look.
Volkswagen was in advanced talks with the US government over substantial investments in the world's second-largest auto market. Chief Executive Oliver Blume told Reuters VW did not appreciate an asymmetric deal between Brussels and Washington. That deal foresees tariffs on EU auto imports of 15% and no tariffs for US industrial goods imports into Europe. Speaking to Reuters at the IAA Munich car show, where VW had unveiled its new small electric SUV, Blume said the company was counting on an investment plan in the US, adding that talks with the US government were very positive. VW is considering substantial investments to expand its US business, including a plant for its Audi brand, and has held talks about how Washington could lend support. Volkswagen is trying to soften the blow from US auto import tariffs of 27.5%, which have cost the company billions of dollars.
Up to now, it's several billion euros on our balance sheet. This situation cost this year, but it's more important to what situation we will come in the future. On the one hand side with the tariffs and maybe with a joint agreement based on our huge investments we could do in the US.
Like its rivals, VW is waiting for current US auto import tariffs to fall to 15%, something the US administration under Trump has pledged to do.